Do you know who Big Pharma, Big Tech, Big Government and mainstream media fear the most? People like us. People who are willing to risk it all, to call them out for their lies and their crimes. Welcome to the old forest cave, as I like to call it, here in my local woods. I'm just going to have a cup of coffee. And I want to ask you, do you ever get this feeling that it's like in one of those movies where the main character for some reason wakes up in the future and everything has gone completely crazy? I sort of get that feeling sometimes, because I think that things are getting completely crazy. Okay, so I made a list here and you will quickly see where this is going. This is a list of what we need, what's lacking, versus what has gotten into society instead, replacing that, if you know what I mean. And you'll see what I mean. So, we need real health, real healthy food and being active. But instead we're getting Big Pharma addicting people to drugs. We're getting a celebration of obesity. Let's move on here. We need brotherhood. As men, we need brotherhood. Instead, we're getting this childish alpha male cultism. We need time in nature and connection with nature. But instead, we have smartphone addiction. We have people addicted to social media. We need to celebrate real manhood, real womanhood. But instead we're getting these fairy tales about, I don't know, is it 60 just some numbers here, 67 genders, 118 genders. We need critical thinking, but instead we're getting this dogmatic lack of thinking. You need to believe in this and that, and as the things that mainstream media is telling you. Otherwise you are, I don't know, a bigot, well, they just throw bad words at you, basically. We need to protect childhood. Instead we're getting, we're seeing that little kids are exposed to, let's just call it alternative sexual practices. You know what I mean? Yeah. We need to read books. Instead, we're getting TikTok and foolish, stupid social media apps on that smartphone. So, things, I believe, is not moving in the right direction. Okay. If you're still here, thank you for that. And I will ask you to consider to subscribe to this channel, leave a comment. It would really help the channel if you could do that. I find that when I talk about these things, the video will not be suggested to other people. That's just how YouTube works. It seems. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how it all comes together? And also, for those of you who have asked about the Bushcraft course, well, I'm setting up another weekend because the first one is full, and also there are still available spots on the man tracking course. So just go to the link in the description and you will find information there. So, why do we care? Do we care? Well, I care, and I think that, as I've said before, if you're a parent, you should care, because what we're talking about here is how freedom that we, my generation especially, have taken for granted, it's being now taken away, and we can't let that happen. And I will tell you this. If you care, and I think you should, you need to speak up. And you need to say that we do not accept this. We will not go along with the things that is coming from, for instance, these globalist organizations like the WHO and now what's his name again? Klaus Schwab. People like that, you know, he said recently that in the future, and I think he's talking about the very near future, there will be total transparency. Everything you do, everything you say will be monitored. And people will find it natural, as just a natural part of life. Now, Klaus, I have this to say to you, and I don't think you're listening, but if you are, you know, go and get stuffed. You know, it's we will never accept that, because not everyone is an obedient little servant to people like you. We're not all going to fall in line. Now, we saw during the COVID crisis that most people did. Most people they bent the knee either because they had no choice, because they were forced and coerced into obedience, or because they were just that kind of person, I guess, who felt it too troublesome to oppose the official narrative, or just maybe they just believed in it. So we are the rebels. We are the last line of defense, and I'm using these dramatic words here because it is the truth. That's how it is now. We need to refuse to go along with what's coming. And there are big changes coming. And if I didn't say so already, I think that we're going to be in a major crisis within the next 2 years. And the solution, and I'm doing this with my, you know, ironically, I'm saying the solution that will be imposed upon us will be total control, possibly a complete taking away of money, and then the monetary system will possibly be replaced with central bank digital currency, which I've made other videos about, and so I won't get into that here. It's a means of control, okay? So you need to use your voice, and you need to tell people around you that, first of all, prepare. Get food, get sort out water, get everything you need, because we might be locked out of everything for a long time next time. And please use your voice while you still have one. And I'm telling you, be the rebel. I get carried away. I am passionate about this because I value freedom. And I think freedom is one of those things that people easily take for granted. But we shouldn't. It's not that long ago that our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they fought for freedom in a real war. Now, I will also say this. Do not hate those who fall in line, those who obey. We need to build bridges. We should not burn bridges. We need to build bridges to those people who may lack the courage And we need to tell those people that you're welcome on our side. I will not use the word forgiveness, because I do not believe in that concept. But also, we need to welcome people who change their minds about things, if you know what I mean. Let's come together, let's work together, because if we do that, these power-hungry globalists, people who, I don't know what to call them, but you know who I'm talking about here. Those who kind of think that they're gods, that's the feeling I get. Those people, they will have no power. Okay, I'll have some coffee now. Yeah, that got a little bit dark. I'm sorry about that. But it's serious now. You know, we're not playing anymore. This is real. And what's coming will be very demanding. We will be tested. And we will not fail. We know what the powers that be are capable of, because they showed us that during the COVID crisis. And they know, they think they know that people will bend the knee, they will be obedient. But let's come together. Let's show them that they will not get away with anything like that again. They will not be allowed to take away our freedoms. Okay. If you're still watching, thank you. And as always, stay strong.